High above the city of Nashville, where the trees part just enough to glimpse the skyline beyond, Shies Hill rises like a natural fortress. For the men who fought here in December of 1864, this was more than a hill. It was the key to the city. The view may be peaceful now, but this slope once thundered with rifle fire, cannon blasts, and desperation. Shies Hill is no gentle rise. Its slopes are steep, uneven, and cloaked in thick brush. Climbing it under fire would have been near suicide. The Confederate defenders held the high ground, an enormous tactical advantage. Their artillery was placed to rain down destruction on any attacker. Union soldiers had to charge up these wooded slopes in loose formation, dodging felled trees, rocky outcrops, and hastily dug rifle pits. Even today, the ground gives you pause. It's not just the incline, but the chaos of the terrain. There's no clear path, no easy way up. Holding this hill should have been easy. Taking it should have been impossible, and yet the impossible happened here. In the winter of 1864, the Confederate Army of Tennessee, led by Lieutenant General John Bell Hood, was bleeding. After heavy losses at Franklin, Hood made a final gamble: defend Nashville and break Union control of Middle Tennessee. Opposing him was Major General George H. Thomas, commanding the Union's Army of the Cumberland. Thomas waited, reinforced, and struck hard in the Battle of Nashville. On December 16th, Union forces launched a sweeping assault against Shies Hill. The Confederate left collapsed. Panic spread, the line broke, and just like that, the once mighty Army of Tennessee ceased to exist as a fighting force. Shies Hill was the final stand and the final fall. The fighting wasn't just hard, it was decisive. Union divisions under General Smith, Schofield, and Steedman moved in coordination, rolling up Confederate positions along the hills west and south of the city. As pressure mounted, Hood's left flank, anchored at Shies Hill, began to buckle. The Confederates were exhausted, cold, undersupplied. They dug in with what little strength remained, but Union troops had momentum and numbers. The final assault on Shies Hill came in waves. Minnesota, Illinois, and Ohio regiments pushed up the slopes, overrunning the works and capturing cannons, flags, and prisoners in a matter of minutes. Once Shies Hill fell, it triggered a domino effect. The entire Confederate line crumbled. Hood's army fled south in disarray, leaving behind thousands of weapons, dozens of artillery pieces, and over 4,000 prisoners. The Battle of Nashville ended not with a counterattack, but a full-scale rout. The Union had broken one of the last major Confederate field armies, and with it, any Southern hope of reclaiming Tennessee. The Battle of Nashville was one of the most decisive Union victories of the entire Civil War, and one of the final nails in the coffin for the Confederate Army of Tennessee. It unfolded over 2 cold December days, December 15th and 16th, 1864, on the southern edges of the city, where hills like Redoubt No. 1 and Shies Hill would become killing fields. After suffering catastrophic losses at the Battle of Franklin just weeks earlier, Confederate General John Bell Hood brought his battered army north to Nashville. His plan: take the city, disrupt Union supply lines, and turn the tide of the war in the Western Theater. But he was too late. Nashville was fortified. Union forces under Major General George H. Thomas had dug in, reinforced by troops from the Department of the Cumberland, and they were waiting. Hood's army took up a defensive position south of the city, forming a 5-mile crescent, anchored by steep hills and ridge lines. It was a bold stand, but a desperate one. His men were starving, freezing, and badly outnumbered. Thomas, known for his methodical patience, waited until the conditions were perfect, then launched a coordinated 2-day assault designed to smash both Confederate flanks. On the first day, December 15th. Union troops under General James Steedman attacked the Confederate right in a diversionary move. The real strike came from the west, where General A.J. Smith's corps swept around the Confederate left. The fighting was brutal but effective. Hood's line bent, but it held. Then came December 16th. That morning, Thomas ordered a full assault, this time aimed at the Confederate left, anchored on Shies Hill. The hill was steep, rugged, and well defended, but as the Union flanking columns closed in from multiple directions, cracks began to show. Artillery pounded the hilltop, infantry swarmed up the slopes, Confederate lines broke, panic spread. By late afternoon, Union troops had taken Shies Hill and shattered the Confederate position. What followed wasn't just a retreat, it was a collapse. Hood's army fled south in disarray, leaving behind cannons, wounded men, and what little hope remained of a Confederate comeback in the west.